Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management? I believe I speak for most parents of adult children. There are times when they just don't listen to us. Here's another one, maybe for you dads. There are times in your life when maybe your boys thought you knew everything when they were little. Then they turn into teenagers and you didn't know anything. Then they get in their 20s and all of a sudden you know everything again. This might be your future, Eric Strom, Financial Planning Manager and CFP at Annex Wealth Management. Welcome back.
Thanks, Danny.
Now, you've got girls, right? Little girls?
That's right.
So for now, the moon and the stars are hung on you with them, right?
I'd like to think so, but I'm not so sure. You see, I'm a girl dad, 2 daughters, and my wife, so I'm outnumbered 3-1.
Time to get a dog. All right. At Annex Wealth Management, communication with our clients and our listeners of our radio shows is open all of the time. From Ask Annex to our weekly Axiom newsletter, we love engagement. We like that back and forth. And we're partway through a poll on Axiom that involves money questions to ask your adult children. And so far, the data has been pretty interesting. We thought it might be helpful to kind of discuss this. Eric, let's walk through the first 4 questions. And the first was, when you ask your kids, and again, this is adult kids, are you saving enough for retirement? What's the answer?
Yeah, so what we heard here, and this is pretty good news, I'd say, 73% said yes, and 18% said saving somewhat towards retirement. So that means 92% of the adult kids are saving for retirement at least somewhat. And that's pretty good news, right? Because pensions are gone, Social Security, a lot of younger people believe Social Security won't be as strong. So it's really up to the workers to build that nest egg, right?
I wonder the way that the question is presented, is it an interrogation or the kids just going, Mom and Dad, leave me alone, right?
Right.
The second part of that question 1 was, are you saving enough?
So here the plot thickens, and I'm a little concerned. First of all, 10% of respondents said they know for a fact they're not saving enough. That's a little scary, but maybe this is even scarier. 55% don't know if they're saving enough. I'd like to take this moment to put out a loud and clear gauge. So generally for someone, Danny, in their 20s or 30s, you want to work towards saving 15% towards retirement. So here's my challenge to parents. Ask your kids, hey, are you saving 15% towards retirement at your work? Hopefully that information can help a little bit.
It's good that you give them a specific number. Do 15%.
Yep.
Second question was, will you need financial help in the next 5 years? That's kind of loaded.
It is. And our survey showed that nearly 1 in 4 of the adult children will need help in the next 5 years. And there's a great book in personal finance, Danny, called The Millionaire Next Door.
Oh, I
Thomas
know it.
Stanley.
I love it.
Very good book. There's a term that was introduced in that book that we talk about on this radio show regularly called economic outpatient care. So that's when you provide money to an adult child, especially when you do so on a regular basis. And they found that children getting that financial support had lower income and lower net worth compared to those children who were not getting the financial support. So we all have to be very careful here, especially when it comes to giving your children repeated financial gifts. For me, my attitude is let your kids figure it out.
Eric Strom, Financial Planning Manager at Annex Wealth Management, also a CFP, going over a set of questions in our Axiom newsletter for parents to ask their adult children. The third question was, do you have a will and estate plan? And it's interesting, Eric, because this might not even be so much about your adult children. Of course it is, but what about the grandkids, right?
That's true. Here we found nearly half of the adult children did not have any estate planning documents in place at all, including even just a will. Frankly, this is not a huge surprise because nationwide, this is an issue. The base of your financial pyramid is 3 things: having an emergency fund, having appropriate insurance, and having estate planning documents in place. And documents is plural, so that's a will, of course. We've all heard of that. But then there's powers of attorney if you're unable to make healthcare or financial decisions for yourself, and also for some, maybe a trust. I think the key here is that parents who have kids in the house, like I do, you've got to talk to your spouse about who would raise your kids in the event that both of you pass away. You have to actually agree and then implement that with estate planning documents. Doing estate planning can be an emotional thing. No matter what, estate planning is important, something to strive towards getting that done.
Final question was kind of a follow-up on that. How often do you plan on updating your will and or estate plan?
My big takeaway here, Danny, was that 1/3 hadn't thought about it since they created their estate planning. So the good rule of thumb here is you want to update your estate plan every 3 to 5 years. So using myself as an example, when we had our 6-year-old daughter, at that time we did our estate planning, but we just had another baby. And, it's been 6 years. We actually are in the process now of revamping that, meeting with our attorney. And also the law has changed in the last 6 years. The Secure Act was passed. That greatly changes things. I think it's very important every 3 to 5 years, get that estate plan updated.
For investment, retirement planning, tax planning, and estate planning, we do it as a fee-only fiduciary. Know the difference? Our website is annexwealth.com. Click that Get Started button. Start the wealth metric process. Eric Strom, Financial Planning Manager, CFP at Annex Wealth Management. Thank you.
Thanks, Danny.